Oh, yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation. And we welcome your phone calls at 888-565-1470. So how does it feel that we've sprung ahead and we're in this great new energy? Days are getting longer. It's a little weird when you go to sleep and then you wake up and it's still a little dark. That's still throwing me off a bit, but good to have a little more sunshine, especially here in the Sunshine State. We hope the sun is shining wherever you are, and as we begin to celebrate spring, a new beginning, a new year in the spiritual world, and better than having a new year in January and being all cooped up. Now we get to spring around and enjoy what's before us. But tonight we're talking to God. We're taking phone calls to ask questions of the divine and guide you on the path of life. Because so often in life, we have our personal conversations with God. We sit there in our house or in our room, in our cars, and we say, God, what am I going to do? God, is this the right person for me? Angels, I need your help. I don't know what the next move is. I'm trying to find a job. God, you got to help me. Or you're in a family battle and there's some conflict going on. And you're like, God, can you talk some sense into these people? I know they're my family, but really? So we have many conversations that go on in our head with the divine. But if you were to talk to God, if you were to connect and ask questions of God, what would you ask? And if you could say something to God, what would you want to say? What would you want to say to your angels? What would you want to say to your loved ones on the other side? Earlier today, I was really blessed to speak with some fabulous people in my sessions. And in one of the conversations, when I was talking about what was going on in life with this lovely lady's children, I heard a voice from the other side say, one of the girls is named after me. Someone's named after me. I'm like, really? And sure enough, one of the little girls was named after a grandmother that the woman had never met. But she named him after the grandmother. So they're listening. They're in on the conversation, even when you don't think they are. But have you ever sat down with yourself and talked to your loved one who's passed? Have you ever said, Mom, Dad, I really wish you were here. I could really use your help. I could really use your conversation. Could really use your guidance. I definitely need to feel that connection with you. I miss our moments together, or our adventures, or I miss the way you knew exactly what to do at exactly the right time and I could always come to you for help. Or just a feeling of it's so good to know that someone who understands you is a phone call away. And what about that time when the phone doesn't ring anymore? You would give anything to pick up the phone and hear their voice again. I remember my father was busy with his country club members and running the country club and any other thing he was working on, any other business projects he had. And he would always remember that he hadn't heard from me in a certain amount of time. And he would leave me a voicemail message when I was out at work. And he's like, what's the matter? You forgot your father? What's the matter? You don't remember the number? Do I need to give it to you? What's the matter? Call me. And he'd hang up the phone, right? And I'd be like, shoot. He's like, it's been 10 days. You could have been dead. I go, I'm sure if I was dead, Dad, you would have known 10 days sooner I was dead. Don't worry about it. But he's like, don't give me that. Just call me. What's the problem? Just call me. And he would get into this thing of, it's the right thing to do. And I was like, yeah, but Dad, I was doing this and I was doing that. And then how many of us wish we could have that phone call now, right? I'm sure my Father's in heaven now looking down going, what are you doing? What is this? What are you up to? You talking to dead people? What's happening? Right? He'd be like, what's going on? But at least he knows I can see him. I can hear him. I can feel him. But just like I can see, feel, and hear, you can see, feel, and hear them in different ways. And they're giving you the guidance that you need. They're helping you understand you're not alone. And they're softening the energy for you as you navigate things that are uncomfortable. And what are your conversations like with God? What do you say to the angels? Do you get in the car and you say, angels, protect me? I need some help. Make sure I can navigate. I know when I was driving here to the radio station today, roads were a little busy. I was talking to my friend, the astrologer, Stacy Holler. So we're in the car talking. She's like, when will you get there? Because, it's almost time for the show. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's got some traffic. She's like, you're cutting it close, Sarah Spiritual. I was like, yeah, I know. And we know the angels will get me here, but there was a part of me going, okay, angels, get me in front of this blood bank bus because I need to move. And this bus is not moving. And so sure enough, somebody moved. I took their spot on the other side, passed the little bus on the left, went right in front. There was nobody in front of the bus. I'm like, you were slowing me up for what? So we see that they're listening. We're seeking the guidance. And even though I was talking to Stacy and we were talking about the astrology and what's going on in astrology, in my mind, I was like, I need to get out from behind this bus. Like, it's not good. I got to go. And so they heard me. They felt me. They knew. And I can promise you, your guides, your angels, your loved ones, and yes, God, they know what you need. They understand that you need assistance, and they understand that we're in some difficult times, that there's some uncertainty. So before the show, before I got in the car and I raced over here, I had a little conversation with God. And it went something like this. God, it's me. Yeah. I know. There's a lot going on in the world. And sometimes it's hard to interpret what is really happening. I'm hearing a lot of conflicting stories. There are many people who are suffering, and everyone's pointing fingers as to why certain things are happening. So it's really difficult to understand the truth. I really hope that people find the truth. And God, if it's possible, be sure to let the powers that be know that there's a right way to do things and a wrong way. And we have to think of people and people's hearts and their families. And please let them know you're in charge, God, because sometimes people get a little high on their power. And here on earth, we could really use some balancing out. And God, one of my customers, she's really concerned with some things going on in her life. So give her the comfort, the peace, and shower her with the energy of love and good health that she requires. And then you see I start to go down the list of things that are going on with all of you and conversations we've had and how things can turn around for each and every one of you. And although I don't get to include everybody in my conversations with God, in my mind, when they pop up, I get an inspiration and I say, oh, and so, speak some little wisdom to her because she really needs to know we don't go back with exes. Like, that's the past. We're moving forward. And so there's a conversation that happens in my mind continually while I'm doing things. And that's the steady stream of consciousness that keeps us all connected. And so if you were to talk to God, what would you want to tell God? Who would you want to pray for? What would you want to ask for this world? Monday night, we did an equinox celebration, ringing in of the spring and a new astrological year. And so I sat there and I was talking to everyone in the class. We did a prayer for peace. because let there be peace on this earth. We need to have peace. Did you know that we are all citizens of a planet? We're not just citizens of a country, we're citizens of an entire planet. We are all connected in some way. We all have a soul plan, and each one of us belongs on this planet. And I understand there's boundaries and territories, but there's got to be a better way. And so when we pray, we ask for peace. We ask for assistance from God. We trust that there's a higher power moving things along and opening up the hearts of mankind. It's definitely been a time that has brought up a lot of our fears, the fear of lack and uncertainty, the uncertainty of what's going to happen next, and the uncertainty is, will there be enough, and how will I manage? And then the concerns about health. Perhaps many people took their health for granted because they lived their life, they were doing what they did, they had access to medical solutions, and suddenly this monstrous pandemic comes upon us. And initially we don't really have solutions. We don't have a way around it. It's just coming for us. And that created a lot of fear. And then it reminded us, those of us who have parents and grandparents who've lived through things, and they tell the stories of what they didn't have, how they had to struggle, or the stories you've heard from your friends' parents where they lived through the wars and they had to have just a few things and make it through with just a little bit of food. We've heard those stories, but perhaps we think that that was then and this is now, and that could never be again. But here we are in a place where the world is changing, and suddenly the things we took for granted that were readily available, the health care, the solutions medically, the ability to come and go, the freedom, the lack of restrictions, and then poof, we're in a place where we're faced with things that we're not familiar with. That got a lot of us on our knees, praying for sure. And maybe for the first time, God had our attention. First time in a long time, because we realized that maybe we can't take things for granted. We have to be open to a different way. And that if we choose a different way, we can have more peace and feel calm even through the most difficult times. And recognize that we're protected and that we can move forward with protection and grace from the divine. And that there's an entire universe that's supporting us. We need to learn to ask for help and not be so proud and set in our ways as humans. That we need to be more flexible, go with the flow. What are your conversations with God? Have you asked God to give you the flexibility and the wisdom and the insight to know exactly what to do at the perfect time and to kind of run with it and go with the flow? Or are you praying that things never change and you need it to stay the same? See, when we pray from that perspective, that's a difficult thing for the divine to grant because things are always changing. But we humans, we don't like change. We like change when we're directing it, when we can say, oh, I want to change. But we don't like when change is thrust upon us. We like to have things our way. Kind of like some of the commercials. You want a burger? Have it your way. But life is in a place now where we have to choose carefully what feels good, what's the right thing to do, what's the right thing for the people around us, what's the politically correct thing to do and say. We're in a place where we have to think a little more. We can't just do what we want. And I think that's been a benefit to bring people back inside themselves so they truly know who they are and who they've come to be. And so in this moment, when you talk to the divine, when you ask for assistance or you're looking for insight and wisdom, or just want to be in the energy of gratitude, remember that everything's happening for a reason. And there's always a higher purpose, even if we don't see it. And the challenges and the fearful moments, they're there to make us stronger. They're to give us the lessons that we require, and an opportunity to make a change. Because maybe without such insecurity and difficulties that we're facing, maybe we wouldn't change. Maybe we just keep doing the same thing. And that isn't how the world works. The universe is constantly evolving. There's not a thing on this planet that doesn't go through a death and rebirth. And for us humans, it's a time to rebirth how we think, rebirth how we feel, and be more mindful, more peaceful, be still, and consider other people. Can't always be about me, me, me. We need to think about the collective now. There's a collective conscious energy that is altogether navigating an unusual time for humanity. And each one of us is a significant part to how this story plays out. So awareness is key. And yes, when you talk to God, say thank you. Thank you for what you do have. Thank you for the blessings of health and the ability to see, feel, hear, touch, taste your food. Bless your food before you eat it. And dear God, thank you for this magnificent earth and all of its complexities. And give us peace. Help us each find peace within so we can send the peace out. And thank you, God, for your light, the light of day, the light within each of us, and the light to the future that leads the way for the highest path for the good of all of us, and ultimately connects us to the divine. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to be answering questions right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. 888-565-1470. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
You know me, do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Did you call me with your soul because you know that you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. We're answering questions. We are drilling up, chatting up, talking to the heavens. We are lining up with the divine, and we're going to navigate life. And we've got some interesting things that we want to talk to you about tonight. So be sure to line up your questions, and if you have a chance, think about what would you like to say to God. We've got some conversations going here in the feed. Marty's a Leo lion here, so she's roaring over there. They're talking about all the stars, and we got Miss Helena. She's talking about, oh my God, her sun in Scorpio in the 6th house. So we're all talking about astrology and what's been happening with us all. And we are all here to have some fun. Share the feed, share the conversation, ask your questions here in the feed. We're going to line up some questions for my Facebook people, and we'll go to them in just a moment, Facebook and YouTube. So pop it up, but do me a favor, share the page. We're in a new year. We've got a new attitude. We've got some cool things coming up at the center. Take a look at sarahspiritual.com if you would like to join my apprentice program. My apprentice program is launching, oh goodness, can't believe it. It's a week from tomorrow. It is a 6-week program, and it is the program to help you blast off and connect to the divine. You've got the power to make your connection. I know somebody in the feed, I think it was Denise Kennedy, was talking about how can I tune into my loved ones and make better connections. Denise Kennedy, give consideration to our apprentice program, because we're talking about how to be connected and channel the information of the masters, the angels, and of course that assists us with connecting to the divine. Well, we're going to go to the phone lines. Sure hope you join us. Pass the phone number along, 888-565-1470. We're going to be opening up some lines as we start to take some calls. Bam, you know the phone lines are opening. If you're driving, listening to us, know that when you reach your destination, you can pop us up on Facebook, YouTube under Sarah Spiritual, or just go to sarahspiritual.com and watch the show live right there. We're going to go to Detroit on the phone lines. I've got Alberta. In Detroit, Alberta, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to talk to you. It's been a while, yes?
I know.
Time's flying,
I'm just so
Alberta.
glad to get through.
I'm glad you got through, too.
Sarah, I need to talk to God. I need to talk to Mom. But my question for you,
Yes.
or God, is, my mom passed. It'll be almost 2 years in August.
Yes.
But before she passed, she was in a car accident, her and my sister. And so they hired this attorney. And the attorney has not even said anything. He has even told the family anything. All he will say is, "Oh, things are moving along. It will be 3 years in 2 weeks." And he still hasn't told us anything. So I filed a complaint with the Bar Association against them, and he and his associates, they lied and said that I called the office and used vulgar language, and that's why he wouldn't talk to me. But fast forwarding, my oldest brother, he hired an attorney because he wants to get some answers.
Correct.
Because my sister, who's the administrator, she's not asking any questions. And Sarah, she called me up 2 weeks ago, and she attacked me. She accused me and the other siblings of talking about her and calling her crazy, and she was going to get from over being the administrator of my mother's
Estate, yeah.
Yeah, and she just went berserk, and none of it was true. We are just trying to get answers because we don't believe that this lawyer, it's not right. He hasn't said anything. He won't answer questions. Nothing. The only thing he'll say, it's the case is moving along nicely. But what is nicely when it's 3 years and 2 weeks?
Well, I know cases, by the way, take time. So I'm not a lawyer, but I do know that they do take time.
Yeah.
So your sister was in the accident, yes? So she's part of the claim, yes?
Yeah, she has her own, yeah.
Okay, so she has her own. And anything that occurs in honor of your mom is going to be just part of her estate. This is also true, right?
Right.
So the thing I was hearing is that your sister is really more thinking that you all are more interested in what's the money than what's really going on. Okay, so she has this strong interpretation of you all butting in where she thinks she has it under control. But that's actually your sister's personality. That's who she's always been, right? She thinks she has it under control. And this is taking a little bit of time. But I do feel that because your mom is no longer living, that the urgency and the sense of priority is not at the top of the list of either party. So the law firm representing you and the law firm representing the insurance company or whoever was at fault in this accident. So this is what is also part of the holdup. So the other attorney that your brother has hired will be able to light some fires and get some answers. And this was a good move to see what's going on because none of you, nor I, are legal. So we don't know the law. And you need someone who knows the law and has the right to practice the law to act on your behalf. So when I look at the outcome of this, I can tell you it's going to drag on a little bit longer. But when we come into the 2023 time, you should have not just answers, you should have results from this, all right?
Okay.
So this is something that will take time, and they're dragging their feet because the urgency doesn't seem to be there. You seem to have lit a fire under them. Sorry that the lawyer lied on you, Alberta, but, he was just covering his tracks and his firm's tracks. So that is also an unfortunate thing, but many of us in our lifetime will be unjustly accused. And so when I look at the energy and I open up the space around your family dynamic, you've always been the one who's been there speaking the truth, stepping forward, and also representing your mom in a way. Is that also true? Even though your sister's interacting on the behalf of the estate, you've really been your mom's mouthpiece and person who looked out for her. Is that also true?
Yes.
Okay. And in the energy that I see from mom makes me aware of you taking care of matters concerning her health before she passed as well. Is that also true?
Yes.
Okay. And she also gives me this great energy of gratitude towards you because she makes me aware of the time you take for her. Everyone was busy and you took time for her. This is not taking away from them, but she's acknowledging your intentions and efforts that you place on her. And this is something she's most grateful for. She also makes me aware of your continued conversations with her daily that let her know that you are not just thinking of her, but allows her to stream through you. And there are times you can feel her right next to you, almost putting her arm around you, telling you it'll be all right. This is also true. Yes, Alberta?
Yes, it is.
And she's also setting for me, did your mom drink coffee or tea? Because she's putting down a cup, not a mug so much as coffee, okay? So she's putting down a cup, and you would sit and have coffee with each other, please? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so to her, your conversations are like her coffee conversations she would have for you and with you when she was alive. So she wants you to know that you can keep talking to her. She also makes me aware of her passing anniversary is coming up, but isn't there also a birthday connected to her or the family member connected
Yeah,
to her?
her
Yes.
birthday is in June.
Okay. And her passing's coming up right before then, please?
After. Right after.
Okay. Because she made me aware there was another important date or something connected around the time of her passing and important to the family. So this is her birthday. So she expects to have everyone recognize her birthday even though she's not here. She also makes me feel like it was going to be a milestone for her. How old would she have been?
90.
90. That's a milestone. She would have been
Yep.
90, right?
Yep.
So we all want to be there for the, well, I think we all want to be there for the 30, the 40, the 50. But when you start moving up to 80, 90, you're like, wow, I made it. So she makes me aware that this birthday would have been a milestone for her.
Yep.
So she
it would have.
expects that we have a little party or something. And even if it's you just putting an Entenmann's cake on the table. And
Oh,
just,
we're having a celebration
Yeah.
for her.
Yes.
We have that planned, yes.
good. But no matter what it is, she expects the party. Apparently, she's in the know. There's no fooling her now. And she also has a woman standing next to her. The mother had a sister who passed, please?
Uh-huh, yep.
Because there's a woman who's standing close to her. So there was a sister she was very close to who passed. And that sister passed not too far before her, a couple of years before her, please?
Yep, yes.
Okay. That is the sister that's standing with her, and that is the sister that she wants you to know is with her.
Okay.
All right?
Well, Sarah,
Yes.
I've been telling my mom there is this car that I want, and and these days, I mean, buying a car, it's like everyone is like
It's like buying a house.
they're boosting up the price, and it's
Yes.
just, and I talk to everyone, and I have the car taped on my wall, and I says, Mom, this is what I want. This is the car that I want, but they're making it difficult for me. Everybody's going 5% above the MSRP, and I
Okay.
says, and I'm not gonna spend on my head, or I'm not going to just get so desperate that I'm
Correct.
just gonna take it. But this is the car that I want. Can I get it?
So she's funny. So here's the interesting thing. She talks about April. She talks about June. And she's kind of making me feel like, depending on what you want and how long you want to wait, she can see you getting it for her birthday for June. Your mom's funny. She's funny.
I talk to her every morning, Sarah, because I have to see 8x10 pictures sitting by my desk at work, and I light a little white candle and I have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. Well, I guess she wants a car for her birthday too, honey. So
Okay.
get the car
Well,
by June. Alberta, great reconnecting with you. I'm sorry the legal channels are moving slowly. Sounds like you've lit a fire. Let's see what we can get to resolve in a expeditious time. But
Okay.
all is well with your mom, and she sends you much love and gratitude. And just let your sister be, please.
I will. After she
right.
blasted me, Sarah, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Alberta. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a Facebook message or a YouTube message. We're going to pull from our social media feed, and let's see who we've got here. We've got YouTube. We've got Yari Yari. My move to Florida from Connecticut, the best decision for me. Yari Yari. Definitely a good move for you. This is a time for you to move yourself in the energy of expanding to new horizons, being more creative, Yari Yari. Timing on this, they're making me feel like after June is the time to make the move and make the transition. Be sure to have everything lined up for your work, because we need to make sure everything falls into place, Yari Yari, for work and money. Once that is all checked off your list and you know exactly that plan, then take flight. You should be here before the end of the year. Anytime after June is fine for you to move to Florida from Connecticut. Thanks, Yari Yari, for your YouTube question. We're going to take a question from Facebook and or YouTube. We've got Facebook. We've got Brittany Kennedy, and she's on our Facebook page. And she says, I was wondering if I'm going in the right direction, what God wants me to do. I've recently been trying to get my GED. So, Brittany, I got to tell you that right now, when I look at this energy, this year is a perfect year for you to get your GED. It's a powerful time for you. It is a year of putting yourself first, your personal power. They want you to focus on self-care, focus on your self-worth, and recognize that you have power beyond what you believe is possible, and trust that something wonderful is going to happen for you, because I see the power of change. You'll complete the GED, and then I see you taking a program to advance for your career. This is the time you launch to your greatness. Thank you, Brittany, for your Facebook question. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, you'll continue answering questions at 888-565-1470, and we are here to see what we've got a message for you about. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Know you, have we met before? I've been
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song?
And we are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we are answering your questions at Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. And I'm going to go to Bree. And Bree is in Pittsburgh. Bree, how are you tonight?
I'm hanging in. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's the weather in Pittsburgh?
It's raining.
Oh, sorry to hear that, but the sun will come out tomorrow. We'll just pray for that.
Yes.
So, Bree, what is your conversation with God? What's your question for us? How can we help you?
Well, I saw it was a hard day recently. I mean, extra hard day, and I saw a star light in the living room at my fiance's house, and then the same day she saw upstairs a flare of light. And I thought that was odd because I was really, I'm not gonna lie, I was mad. I was mad at God. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm really sorry about that. I told God that I'm really sorry, but so I was just wondering what that was about.
Well, the light is divine light, okay? That's a connection, and that's a connection to the other side from someone who passed who's connecting to you.
Do you think it was my mom?
I do feel that it's connected to you in family. When's Mother's birthday? Soon?
April 9th.
Yeah, soon.
19.
There you go.
I'm sorry?
I said soon, yes. Okay, there you go. That's the one. That's the energy. Soon, yes.
Okay. And
That's
then,
Mom.
am I a bad person?
Why? Because you had a bad day and things didn't go your way and you got mad and frustrated? No. This doesn't make you a bad person.
I'm just not, really been, I've been doing my best for a long time, and, it's getting extra hard, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like I'm walking up a big sandhill in a desert. I'm just tired.
I understand. But also understand this, Bree. You set some lofty goals for yourself, and many of which you've completed. And you have some other goals. But you don't have a clear-cut plan as to how to get from where you are to where you think you want to be. And you also battle with some mental imbalances that sometimes get the better of you, whether it's depression. I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose, but some of it is out of your control. So we have to be gentle with oneself and understand that the mental state does impact our ability to feel and get the results that we want, right? So we have to be kind and give ourselves the rest and the care that we need instead of pushing through. You've been pushing through like a bull in a china shop for a really long time. So of course you're tired. In spite of the fact that you had to almost keep your emotions and your mental moods under tight lockdown so that you wouldn't explode. And you can only do that for so long before you'll explode. So you have to find the right balance, the right therapist, the right, perhaps, medicine. Perhaps things are not supporting you in the way they could as to what's available from medical science and medical therapy. And these are tools that you need. It is, for you, having the tools of mental guidance and support is equivalent to you having food. Because if we don't find the right balance and help you mentally, it's as if we are abandoning you for the food required to keep your mental state in balance and peace. So I feel like sometimes you run from that, thinking that you don't want to have to do that, but it's something that needs attention. And when you give it the attention, it makes it easier.
What do I do if my family doesn't fully understand?
Well, honey,
the way they say they do.
It's not for them to understand or not understand. It is for you to honor self. And those who care will understand, or if they don't understand, they'll learn to ask the right questions so they can understand. But at this point, it's not about anybody else other than you, and that is not being selfish. Because you have a great God power, creativity, artistry, photography, beauty inside of you. And you want to help people and make a difference. But you cannot help another if you are not well within yourself. And
I've been trying to take care of my mental health lately, but I've been a lot of pressure. There's been a lot more ever since I've been accepted into college, major college. My family's been putting a lot more pressure on me when I'm trying to stabilize myself more to prepare more mentally for college.
Mm-hmm. Well, who's not supporting you in this journey?
Well, it's more like my main sister and my dad, but pretty much all of them.
Okay. And that is because what? They feel that they don't want you out of the box that they want you to stay in. They only see you under a certain way. They think it's going to be
pretty
too much for
much.
you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Do you think you can do it?
The college thing, yeah, I showed myself not capable, but right now there's other factors are coming into place that I need to take care of, but it's like I'm trying to take care of my mental health right now.
Okay. So here's the interesting thing, and you need to take a breath. We have things to do to get into college. We've gotten accepted. We still got to figure out how we're going to pay for the college. We got things to arrange, yes? And that's all things that we have to be fully present and show up for. What's the worst that happens? What's the worst that happens? We don't get to start when we want to in August? We start in January because we couldn't get everything done? It's not the end of the world. Give yourself a break. Do the best you can. Now, if we need their help for information, then we're going to hope they're going to be supportive in this. But in their minds, in their perception, they don't want you to start something that you can't finish. They don't want you to start something that they think if you fail, it's going to hurt you. They're trying to protect you. They're trying to keep you in a safe box, a safe container. But the only way you're going to realize your true potential and expectations is to take this next step in adventure. And
I feel like it's my only ticket right now to level up.
It's a level up, and it's what you will do.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to talk to a therapist. We need to have the proper person kind of coaching us through the right next step so you don't short circuit and sabotage everything else around you.
Right.
Okay, relationships, friendships, and send your mental state even further spiraling. So we need to self-care. We need to sit down. We need to simplify the process of this is what needs to do in order for me to attend at the time and day and way I wish to. And then we need to break it down, and we need to get the right therapist to help us so that we can manage our emotions as our fear and our inability to move forward happens. So we're no longer feeling frozen, and we have the tools to unstick ourselves and move forward and be gentle with oneself. Tell me, what do you want to say to God at this very moment? Because we're going to go to commercial, and let's hear, Bree, what do you want to tell God? He already forgave you for being mad, so don't worry about that one.
Okay, yeah, I figured that. I just want to say thank you, as always, just everything. Thank you.
Okay. Ask and it is given. You will have the right tools, the right way to move yourself forward with ease and grace. And I say this to you and anyone else who's managing something in your mental state. Be kind to yourself. Seek the assistance that will make things easier for you. It's not a weakness. It is actually an opportunity to find all your strengths, and you're strong enough to do it, my dear. Thanks so much for your call. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to come back to the phone lines. We've got calls in New York, Milwaukee, all across the nation. 888-565-1470. Stay with me, everyone. We'll be right back.
There's a light, there's a light that shines down upon.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those.
Raindrops upon my face remind me through the drain. Raindrops remind me of dreams I've had before, and ways I didn't go, because I didn't know the way. Raindrops remind me of the tears that I've cried before, when I didn't know where I was. There are so many ways that I could live. There are so many things that I could give. But raindrops, they make me feel like time has the power to heal. So raindrops upon my face feel real. There are so many people I believe come before us so we can live, so we can grieve. Oh, raindrops upon my face, help me believe in life. And raindrops open up the way. Raindrops. Standing at the corner now, watching everybody pass me by. I've been waiting for my time, but I don't know which way to go. I'm at the crossroads of my life, and I don't know which way to go. I know there's no room for mistake. that brought me.
And ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
Yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9, and we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to the phone lines, and I've got to go to Anna, and Anna is in Milwaukee. Anna, how are you tonight?
Hello.
Hello, how are you tonight?
I am wonderful, Sarah. I don't have a specific question. I just want to know if you have any advice for me, some insights about what's going on and where I'm headed.
Well, the key for you here, according to the guides and the angels, is you have to have balance. You have to stay in the balance of the flow of what works for you, and you can't get overextended in any one area right now, because we have to find the work-life balance. And what we find in work-life balance, we then need to surrender anything else we cannot figure out or come up with a solution to the divine. So looking at the flow as something like a triangle, and the things at the base of the triangle are the tangible, tactical experiences of life, things having to do with emotions, things having to do with finances, things having to do with relations and relationships. And then those things that don't have an instant solution, something that is accessible for you to create in the physical world, you need to learn to surrender that. Sometimes your mind overthinks things, complicates things, and you get a little hesitant to make a move. And then I see some vacillating. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And so that rather than vacillate and be uncertain, we need you to stand firm in the knowing that what is before you, that you have helped to create, that is solid and makes you feel good, is what you shall choose. What is not a part of you, making you feel good and seems a little wobbly, we need to wait and be still and allow something to come forward to give you evidence that it's the right path or the wrong path. And this is where we overthink and freeze ourselves, almost like fear. I'm seeing some angst, some anxiety around you, Anna, even some disruption in your sleep. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
And I'm also seeing that you've also been going through a lot of memories and thinking of things that have happened before and playing back a tape, conversations of people mentally, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And I also feel as if there's uncertainty even as to who has your back at this time. That also makes sense, yes?
Yes.
There's a divided division, a disconnect in the immediate circle and family at this time, please? This is how they make me feel.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm alone.
Okay. But there was a divide in relationship recently, yes?
It's been an ongoing thing, but yes.
Okay.
Recently.
Okay. So let's review. When we were in the relationship, did we feel safe or did we feel wobbly? We know that
Wobbly.
answer. Okay. Right? That's a given. We know that.
Yep.
And then when it came back and we thought we were going to mend it up and it was going to change, we felt
And it was still wobbly.
we felt like it was supposed to be safe, but inside your inner guts was like, I got to wobble. I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the answer. Okay. You come from a strong line of women. So why are you subjecting yourself to something that is less than what you deserve? Why are you placing yourself in a position of being at the effect of another's moods and choices, making yourself think you need them when you do not need them? Because you stand well on your own. Why are we allowing ourselves to feel second to someone in our need to please them? We put ourselves second. Why is that? Why is it that we're not trusting our gut and paying attention to the signs and checking off the boxes that say red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag? Okay. You see, you've been here before. You've done this dance. This is not even the only time you've done this dance. So there is truly a connection of people who are not supporting you that you seem to be attracting. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back, Anna, to when you were 7 and 8 at that time. Who was not supporting you as a little girl? Where was that?
My adopted mother and my adopted brother and sister.
Okay.
I was separated from my biological family, so I was very much isolated and
you were alone.
Enclosed in myself.
You were alone.
Yes.
And look, you attracted someone that in the end, the only person you can count on is who? You.
Me.
Because you're alone. Do we see the pattern here?
Oof.
Oof. Yeah. So this is the gift this person has given you. And hear this. Regardless of their behavior, crazy as it is, they have brought you a great opportunity to look in the mirror and see what is not feeling good within you, what doesn't feel safe in you, what doesn't allow you to be open and vulnerable because you have a wall up. So you are attracting people who are superficial. And not that you're superficial, but no one can really penetrate you. Because inside, you are afraid someone is going to leave you, abandon you. And then within you, that little girl is actually sending out a beacon of light that says, I really hope someone who would normally abandon me won't. Because if they stay with me, that means I'm really good enough and worthy. And then that means they love me. Because they would never leave me. And they would never mistreat me. And they would never treat me like I'm a stranger and that I don't matter. That would never happen because I can convince them to love me. And so this is what you've been doing in a pattern of relationships. This is the lesson your soul has come to learn, so that you could heal yourself, be your own individual power, your own individual light and love. And from that place of wholeness, wellness, completeness, we can attract a partner who's going to honor you for who you are, as you are, and allow you to be you. This makes
So
sense.
I need to just come to terms with the fact that I am alone, and that's just a part of my life journey.
No, not completely. You have to come to terms with the individual that's been in and out of your life, that they need to stay out of your life. You have to come to terms with the fact that you have some healing to do, so that you can attract someone who will stand by your side shoulder to shoulder and have the life that you dream that you'd like to have, the life that you desire, so you could be happy and fulfilled, which is actually in your destiny. But you're at a crossroad now that makes you do the work. But nowhere written doesn't mean you're going to be alone. Even when you were in the relationship, you were alone. So what's the difference if they're there or not?
It wasn't a difference.
Okay.
I was alone, no matter what. And it's
right. So now we're going to choose to do things on our own, heal ourselves and put ourselves first, so we can be a better person, family member, and partner for someone else.
right.
Anna, I do trust that you will hear what I'm about to say. It is time for you to go back in the past and heal your little girl. And we should revisit that and bring her from the past to the present. So when you have a moment, go on the website, sarahspiritual.com, and look for the work called Soul Integration. It is a session. And we will take your little girl from the past and bring her to the future, so you can come back into your power. You're allowing others to disempower you. Therefore, you're not living your divine potential. This makes sense to you, yes?
Yes.
There is a powerful turning point coming for you. You're not as alone as you think you are.
It's the cutting off part, because these people are major significant people in my life, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's been very hard for me.
Are you living in a house with other people besides the person you're dating or married to?
I'm not married or dating anyone. I seem to have a soul tie to my son's father.
Okay.
And he has moved on.
Okay. So, but somehow his energy keeps coming back, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
In different forms.
In different forms, okay? So
yes.
It's like you're still, well, to spirit, you have a child, you're connected forever, anyhow. So to me, it's like you're still married.
Yes.
Okay, or still with him. We need to cut
but
that.
As you said, I'm alone, even though he's there. I don't know how to explain it.
I understand. I know, because I see. So in this moment, we need to do the work to cut those ties, to release him, so that you can move yourself forward to create a new story for yourself and attract that partner. I hear this song in my head, alone again, naturally, in a little while from now. Ah, yes, alone again, naturally. That's how you feel. And that's natural to you. But that's not your destiny, and that's not what God has for you. So, since we have God on the phone line, and we're dialing up to the heavens tonight, what would you like to ask God?
So many questions. What would I like to ask God?
What would you like God to do for you?
I almost want to ask, honestly, Why was I left alone? What is the divine purpose? It has been, my mother has died. It has been a long journey traveling alone. And I guess I want to know, what am I doing here? Why? Why do I have to be the wounded soldier?
You don't have to be the wounded soldier. You kind of signed up for it. You didn't read the fine print of the contract before you came as a soul member. That's all I got to tell you. But in the seriousness of the matter, you're here to define courage, to live courage, to be courageous, powerful, and to find your own inner power. And that you don't need anyone. You are able to sustain yourself. And now you can attract an equally powerful person by your side. Your mother was unable to stay on the planet. Her choices along the path of her life were not good ones, correct?
Yes.
Okay. It was complicated. Yes, I hear that. This is what I hear from her. It was complicated. But she brought you in so that you could be the leader, the way shower, the powerful one to lead others from their fear and their lack and their loneliness to discover their greatness in whatever capacity you choose to. But first, you have to find your own greatness. And the greatness expands and extends beyond just being a mother.
It's like I know that that's what I'm here for, but it is so hard.
I know. I know it's hard.
It is extremely hard to do this alone. And now I'm raising my son alone. This is the hardest thing I've done in my life, and I have been literally on this journey for a long time.
Since you were born.
Yes, literally. That's
since
what
you were born.
like.
Since you took your first breath of life, you were passed off. But the perception of being alone is the earthly perception. The earthly perception believes that because we've been raised by community and tribe and society, that we require, once we have grown, to sustain and maintain community, tribe, and society as being an integral part of our life. But the only requirement we have as little ones is for the family tribe to care for us in some fashion so we could make it through the part that we're not able to sustain, the ability to provide a roof over our head, the food in our stomach, and the guidance and the structure necessary to form a human being that blends in society. Beyond that, the soul knows exactly what the soul must do because the soul is already pre-programmed with what it is come to do. Therefore, we are never alone when we are with our soul because at that moment we are one with an entire universe, a sea of angels, guides, and of course the divine that is omnipresent. So we are never alone. And your mother, who has passed, is connected to you, feels your pain, and she in turn had lived her pain. And all those that surround you that have passed are still with you. And they paved the way. And you were the strong soldier soul who signed up to say, I will break the generational patterning and curse that's been on my family of an inability to have structure, love, contentment, peace, abundance, joy. And that is the mission you signed up for. And the greatest of leaders have had a moment to be alone because it required the stillness to learn to lower the resistance of the human self, remove the human conditioning, and allow the flow of God. Earlier when we began this conversation, we talked about the structure of the pyramid, a triangle. that which you could sustain and maintain in the physicality, that you could see, feel, touch, that was real and tangible, that is what you can create with ease and grace. You will do that. All other things that you feel you do not understand or cannot create or cannot endure, you simply surrender to the highest point of the triangle, knowing that that is where the divine will stream in and reward you with all the things, because you have lowered your resistance and allowed the divine supreme force to step forth and bless you. This is why you've come. And this is why we began the conversation of your session here on the radio, speaking of balance and using that same visual analogy for you. Because it is the come to Jesus, I'm on my knees moment. And yes, God has your attention. Why you? Why do you have to do it alone? Because you're never alone. It is the perception that you're alone because you cannot rely on the humans that you have elicited to assist you. So that means we find other humans that are of a better vibrational match. Unfortunately, that was not the tribe that chose to parent you. But they gave you the courage to persevere. But now you're in the position of power where you have the freedom, the free will to choose. So we will learn and reprogram ourselves to choose differently. This is the journey that you're on. And it is the journey that all the greats have walked. All the greatest of authors, teachers, spiritual leaders, those who have influencers on television. They've had their moments where they felt lost and alone. And you too are here, which lets us know that you're destined for greatness. Uncomfortable as it may be, this too shall pass. I do hope you take a look at the opportunity to have a soul integration session with me. Let's rescue your little girl. Let's give her back her power. And let's see where your soul's going to take you next. There's some beautiful things coming for you. 2023 is a spectacular year of love, business opportunities, and abundance. So we are getting ready for that, yes?
Yeah.
Thank you for this call. We sure hope that it's been of service to you tonight.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. You'll be well. Bye for now. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then from Milwaukee, we've got to go to New York. We've got Maria on hold, so stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, right here on WWNN, 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. We'll be right back.
Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking to all of you all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we've had Maria. She's been on hold. Thank you, Maria, for holding. We're going to go to Maria in New York and see what's cooking with Maria. We just left Milwaukee. Here we go to New York. Maria, how are you doing?
Hi, Sarah. Day by day.
Good. Well, day by day, oh dear Lord, these things I pray. Okay, now we're ready.
Yeah. Well, first off, I wanted to say your opening conversation was quite beautiful, and you were speaking about like a flame inside of you, and mine has always been so bright, and the past couple of months it hasn't even been dimly lit, for numerous reasons. But in particular, today,
anniversary.
Why a few days. Yeah, we're just past 2 days.
Yes.
Past an anniversary of something.
Yes.
So it's that, but also specifically an issue with like my given family from my partner, and I'm just basically they're just pulling away, and I'm trying so hard to reach out and have conversations. And
all right, let's navigate that a bit. So, first of all, anniversary of passing of someone very near and dear to you. Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. We have quite a few people on the other side connected with you. First person who steps forward is male.
Yes.
Connected directly above you. Is this father figure for you, Maria?
No father figure.
Okay. Grandfather energy? Male energy connected to you.
Grandfather has passed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's the first person who steps forward for you. Okay. In the father-grandfather energy. Okay. Father's father. Okay. This is who steps forward for you first. So we'll let them all settle in. We'll see who else steps forward for me. But that is the first person who energetically stepped forward. The person whose anniversary is coming up is on the other side of the family. Yes. Mother's side of the family.
No.
Okay. Then we need to see who that is. We'll see if they come through for us. So let's continue the conversation with your partner. What is your partner's birthday?
11/11/61.
Well, last year into this year has been a very difficult time for them emotionally. This has been a transitionary time for them, yes? Financially as well, correct?
And my partner?
Correct.
No.
They're going through a major metamorphosis right now. Internally, there is a major metamorphosis, difficult time, and there's some things going on financially with them as well. So there's something that they have to do, something they have to shift, something they have to change. If it hasn't all happened yet, it's unfolding for them, okay? So I may be ahead of the curve on that, but this is what I see. I also feel as if they're very much in their feelings and holding and pushing something down inside of them, and they don't feel like they can speak or share their thoughts in their words. This is also true, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to give them space at this time, yes? We cannot ask any more questions. We need to allow them the time so that they can connect. They need that space to connect within themselves. The fear here is that the relationship is distancing and will dissolve. This is your fear. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is not something that has been decided. So if we chase and push, it will just cause them to shut down more. Their emotions run deep, yes? They're very strongly opinionated in what they think and feel. This is this individual, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what specifically is the question regarding this partner?
Well, it's not necessarily the partner so much. It's my partner's family who's disassociating themselves that I'm having issues with.
And this affects the partner, yes?
Say that again?
And this affects your partner, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can't we let them just be?
I suppose, but I always want to stay connected and to want to create a larger family, and so it's kind of difficult when people pull away,
But that's their choice. When we step out of the box and we shine our light bright, sometimes it casts shadows on other people, and they cannot handle their own individual shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be. As you emerge to be the person that you are, and they form their opinion of what life should be for their son, for their side of the family, there's something going on tied to finances over there as well. Something's going on. Because I see it connected to your partner. So whatever that storyline is, whatever they're navigating over there, this is something that they've got to work out. And something that's connected to them in their generation and their story that's been going on for a while. There's a family squabble about something tangible and tactical. Documents, please, yes?
Yes.
Okay. This has to do with the person who passed, please?
Yes.
Okay. See, now it's coming together because I'm seeing them, everyone has an agenda right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a part that they want to keep to themselves, and that excludes you because you're the outsider in this story, yes?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a female connected to this family that is causing problems in the story, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. She doesn't really necessarily have an open mind to you because right now she's focused on herself. She's being in a selfish space. She's stirring up the pot and making it difficult, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Let them figure it out for themselves. You just stay with your partner and let him navigate this and shut down if he has to and process it. He has a strong opinion. And yes, his family is important to him, but he also values what he's created for himself and his sacred space.
Mm-hmm.
So allow this relationship to just be in a safe container for now so that he's not pulled from them and it divides the two of you in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
There's a saying that blood is thicker than water. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to allow that to come between the two of you. Let them work out their differences. Okay? The only person who stepped forward to actively identify themselves was the grandfather. connected to you. So just know that your father's father is with you.
Okay.
And he's watching out after you, okay?
That's lovely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Maria. Just ride the wave. This too shall pass. They'll have everything kind of figured out by July. So let it
July.
be for now. Yes.
All right.
All right,
I
honey.
appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
888-565-1470. And we're going to go to Carrie, and she's in Palm Coast. Carrie, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well, Carrie. Good to connect with you. Is this our first time
Yeah.
talking?
No, it's not.
Okay,
It's
well,
not.
thank you for connecting with us again. What is your question for us?
I lost my husband,
Yes.
who gets 26, to COVID. My husband was law enforcement.
Yeah.
He caught it at work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Okay, whatever. I
understand.
haven't. It's been 8 months.
Yes.
I don't feel any connection to him, and I'm trying.
I understand.
Was he mad at me? I don't understand it. He didn't understand his death. He was so confused in the last month he was in the hospital.
Yes. Let me share with you.
COVID.
Let me share with you what they're giving me, okay?
What?
So, in the time before he passed, in the early part of August, yes, he was
Yes.
doing his best to hold his own, yes?
Yes, he was.
And
Yes.
then he had a slip where we thought he wasn't doing well, and then he bounced back from that, yes?
Yes, he did.
He's a
Yes,
fighter,
yes.
okay? And he tells me he didn't want to go, and he held on.
I know. I begged him.
And he couldn't leave you because you weren't ready. But he
No,
also
I'm
wasn't
not.
strong enough. But he had to go because he would never have been the same. And the one thing he was very proud of who he was and what he accomplished.
Yes.
He
Yes.
was unable to do anything for himself in the last ending.
Yes, he was.
Okay. So this is not how he wanted to live.
I
And
know.
he had a connection in his soul that told him that even if he had pulled through, he would have difficulty relearning and regaining his strength, his movements, and everything. Because
He had a feeling he was going to die
Yes.
within the year. He said
Yes.
it over and
yes,
over.
yes. And so he was being robbed of the strength. Okay.
Yes.
So I will pull you back to a time, and his birthday is when, please?
September
September.
13th,
Okay.
1961.
Okay. So this is what they tell me. So as I look at this energy here and I see this flow, I'm given the energy that he closed a chapter in his circle of life. And he knew that that was coming ever since his birthday, almost a year before. He knew he wasn't going to live to a late age. This he
did.
said. He said this.
Kept saying it.
Yes. And
I
I
kept
see
hushing
this
him.
based on his birthday, that he had a feeling, and yet he didn't know how he was going to go out. And for him to not have been able to speak to you before he passed was
No.
his greatest pain. Because
Mine too. I can't get past it.
I understand.
couldn't talk to him.
I know that.
He couldn't. Nothing.
And he is with you. You're just not able to feel him through your
Why?
grief.
What can I do? Please.
The difficulty here is that we have to allow a little more time to come through,
Okay.
because in the energy of your sorrow, it makes it difficult for you to pick up on the nuances. And you sit there and you talk to him in the bed as if he's right there with you.
Oh, yes, I did last night.
You
I
have
thought he
his
was holding
things
my hand.
right there. It is right there. And he is sitting right there with you. There's a chair in that room, please.
No, there's not.
Where is his chair, please? Because he's showing me a
His
chair.
chair I gave to my daughter-in-law. She has cancer,
Okay.
and she needed it to keep her arm up.
Okay.
So the chair was given.
Okay.
I gave the chair to her because
Okay.
she needed it.
Okay.
But he loved that chair.
He loved that chair, right?
Well, it's not that he loved it. He couldn't sleep.
So he used to
couldn't.
sit in that chair.
And he's
Okay.
Yes.
That was
yes.
his comfortable chair. That was his chair. Okay.
But it still is my daughter-in-law.
Okay. But he shows me a chair that was meaningful to him. Okay.
Not funny. Yeah.
Okay. So, and I don't know his story, but you can sit in that room, in that sitting area, and look in the direction of where the chair was, and he's there. And talk to him. And talk to
Why do I
him.
have so much trouble talking to him? I feel guilty. I feel everything. I want to say I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to help you.
You couldn't stop it. It was his path.
It was
wasn't
42 years of marriage.
I know, but it wasn't your job to stop it. It was his journey. And you did everything you could. You fought for him. You made all the right choices and decisions, but he had to let go. And he will continue to connect with you over time on a regular basis where you will feel as if he's still with you.
Okay.
He talks to me. Interesting. And in the police department,
yes,
as he had a position, was he supposed to be moving up to another position, or had he just moved up in a position? Please, yes.
Went back to work in he was a corrections officer.
Okay.
He left and retired from one place and then went to our hometown.
Okay.
And COVID, the Delta virus hit, and he could have left, but he didn't.
Okay.
But
that was his passion, and because he makes me feel like, and that was almost like a promotion for him because it was a different environment here. Yes. And whose dog is that with him, please?
Molly.
There's a dog with him. Yes.
This dog with him?
Yes.
Lucky.
Yes, there's a dog with him. A dog that he was close to, that was almost like his buddy. Yes?
Yes, he got him before we were married 42 years ago.
Yes, the dog is with him. Okay.
Okay.
And it's almost like that dog was part of a canine unit or something. That's his energy around that dog. Okay, they did so much together.
He loved that dog.
Yes. Okay, the dog is
went
there.
Everywhere with her.
He is there. They're running the show up there. So your husband is in a higher vibrational place. He will connect you. We are truly sorry for the loss. I know it's difficult to live without someone that we've lived with for such a long time. But know that he will be representing himself to you in many ways, many symbols he will give you over time. And
yes, he is, because he died in the line of duty. Got COVID at work. And he will be, there's so many things that I have to go to.
Right, to be honored and
his
things.
His name will be put in Washington, D.C. His name will be put in Tallahassee.
And it's his legacy. It is the legacy for him. And he needed to be.
Is he happy?
He's listen, he's hanging out with me. He's not angry with you, and he's definitely hanging out with his dog.
No, I tried so much.
I know. And there's a watch that he had, yes, that you have,
yes.
Please? Okay.
Yes, his grandfather's Ford watch is gold.
Yes. So
there's many watches.
But there's one that's significant for him that he's showing me. This is also a clue, evidence that he's with you, he's aware. That is for you to hold. That is for you to hold.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that.
All right.
Thank you.
That is yours to hold until it's your time. But for now, you keep it. Do not hand it off to anyone.
No, never will. Never.
For this moment, Carrie, we must say goodbye. but I hope
Okay,
that I've
thank
given
you.
you some comfort in this
It
moment.
has.
Okay.
Because I've been totally like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Thank you,
You're
Sarah.
welcome,
Thank
Carrie.
you so much.
Perhaps one day we can do a session together and discuss this a little further and a little more specificity and spend a little more time with this. When you're ready,
Thank
just
you
go to
for
my
giving
website
me.
and we will connect.
I will hold on to that watch. I've been waiting. What can I hold on to that is important to him to make myself feel like he's still with me, and he just gave it to me.
Yes. God bless
Okay.
you. Sorry for
Thank
your
you.
loss. Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. And we're going to go from Palm Coast to Chicago. I have Yvonne on the line. Yvonne, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well, Yvonne. Good to connect with you again.
Yeah, I just want to ask God, what about me? You know, I've been through with my nephews.
And
one died, and then the other
son.
one just died. But what about me? I feel, what about me? Is there an answer for me for happiness, Sarah?
There is an answer for you. And interestingly enough, this is a year of change and move. This is a year that's supposed to give you a new start, a fresh opportunity. I understand there's so much hurt and pain that's been holding you back and loss, but it is time for you. And I see love. I see primary partnership. I see connection for you. I'm seeing a possible move. We are considering this, yes?
Yeah, the house we're in is not feasible anymore, okay? Oh, my God.
Yes. There's change coming for you. There's change. And you're not meant to live your life alone, helping everyone else with their problems and putting out everyone else's fire, Yvonne.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This
I
is
know,
your time
I know.
to have your joy and your happiness. And is there a court date coming up for someone, please, related to the passing of your nephew?
Not that I know of. I know there's a lot of things going on, a lot of questions in my nephew, the first nephew. Yes, there is. The court date is coming up with the guys.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes.
The first nephew in January.
Yes.
There
I
is
see
a
the court date. Yes, I see that.
Okay.
And that's going to give us a little bit more clarity, bring some things to justice. Does not bring your nephew back, but it'll be a series of court dates, but there's one coming up. He makes me aware of that. So it's very clear that justice is going to be served. It'll take time.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
And that will
you.
bring you peace.
Thank you.
Because he knows how much you did for him, you cared for him, and you've always been the matriarch for the entire family. But you were his guardian angel on earth, and he will be your guide from the other side.
Okay.
You helped make him the man he is, the man he was.
That's my son, nephew.
Yeah.
That's the one that I helped raise since he was had him since he was 8.
Yeah.
Because his mom died.
Yes.
Does he hear me when I talk to him?
He's with you. You have your nephew and then the one who is your son, and they both hear you, and you talk to them both. And you made both of them magnificent young men. And you gave them the strength so that they could be better people.
Thank you.
There's a journey in the family that a lot of the men in your family, in the generations, have died young, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is meant to be the last run of those who passed. So you know there's a clearing of that energy in the generations.
Yes.
And your nephew, who was like your son that you raised, he was the last one.
Okay.
According to the storyline. So tell all your other nephews that they need to do all the right things because the story is not meant to repeat anymore.
Yes.
Because he put himself in the way that he would change that story. Because he passed too well, too young. And so now everyone else can be well. All right. So we have to trust that I have to use this word because it's the biblical story they give me. The generational curse has been broken on the men in the family.
It's broken.
Okay.
It's broken. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But that does not help the pain of those who are left here suffering, missing them, and those who have lost their sons. We understand that.
Yes.
But
yes,
there was a purpose to that story. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
And what I see here before you is this beautiful energy of some freedom, sisterhood. I feel like you need to get back to leading others, a group in community. And from that work that you will do, that teaching you will do, that mentorship you will do, however you choose to articulate it, you will meet a partner. Someone will come from that. Someone who is spiritually based, God-based. Someone who is grateful for this moment and will appreciate you for the very wonderful, fine woman that you are. Because you have brought a light that has changed many people in your family. And that's why they all look up to you. I know they try to tell you what to do sometimes, but that's okay. Yvonne doesn't do what Yvonne doesn't want to do. So we know that.
Right.
Okay. But this is a year that clears the energy and opens up a new beginning for you and will bring you into energies of love, transition, change, and a leadership role in making a difference in other people's lives. I hope I've been of service to you tonight, Yvonne.
Yes, you have. One thing, Sarah, I met someone just by chance last week, and he's totally different guy.
Well, remember I said it's a year of love coming. So let it unfold, Yvonne.
Okay.
And let's take a look at that. All right?
Thank you.
And perhaps
so
we'll do a
Thank
session
you, Sarah.
together soon. I know we've got a lot to cover. Yes.
I will, as soon as I will. You already know.
I know you
so
will.
much, Sarah.
All right. God bless
Thank
you.
you.
All right.
Okay,
Bye for
thank
now.
you. Bye.
Well, God answers our prayers, and God is hearing us talk. And for those of you who feel as if your loved ones don't hear you, they do. And they give us evidence by letting us know that there's important dates and times coming up, or articles and items that mean something to them that you have. They give us the signs, and be it through me or through your own feelings and sightings and identifying signs and symbols that represent those messages, they will be with you. And how are they with you? Because they go through the divine, and God is with you. So, dear God, we hope you're listening. We miss our loved ones. We ask for your blessings here on earth. We thank you for the beautiful spring that has sprung, and we ask that you keep us all safe and that you bring peace on earth, peace in our hearts, and let us live in our life in love, light, joy, and harmony. Well, for this moment, we say farewell. We'll be back next Wednesday night. I believe we're approaching 630 live shows, and we're sharing it with you right here on WWNN every Wednesday from 6 to 8. Thanks for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light. There's a light that opens doors for everyone. Oh, there's a light.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.